Well, hello and happy Saturday, Dragon family. Rhea coming to you live here on this beautiful day. We're into March, can you believe it? And yesterday was such a powerful day. I hope you guys noticed or were conscious of not only the fact that there were 7 planets in alignment. I think that's the most I've seen yet. But what that did for you, what you were feeling, what things were in alignment and smooth, and what little niggles were coming in, where were the hiccups, and maybe paying attention to, all right, that's the thing I need to focus on. These little hiccups, what were my responses emotionally? What area of my life is that in that maybe I haven't addressed yet? Just sort of being aware. It's about consciousness. And that was part of what we're talking about today. Another beautiful thing about yesterday for me, and I ended up celebrating, went skiing for a beautiful spring afternoon ski in February. Very strange to have spring skiing in February. But I will let you guys know I got all of the cover art, the innards of the book, the graphic designs that are part of the illustrations, all the stuff for the back cover, all of my pieces were sent off to the formatter. So we are one step closer. I've got the ISBN. All of the things are in play. The website, the ascensionprotocol.com, the new one is being created to link to where you can get that book. So I'm super excited because that was a magic day for me yesterday. 228. 28's always been a powerful number for me, which is lots of reasons, but very excited that it all aligned perfectly to be on the 28th for me to send it off. And it was the day that all the planets aligned. So it just felt so magical. And that just means we're one step closer and should be on track for an equinox release. So in the next couple of weeks, watch for that. I will, of course, announce it both on the lives. I hope you're giving a thumbs down because it's 3 weeks away. Oh, it's raining there. I'm so sorry. Counting down, we've got 3 weeks. I did post yesterday when I announced that I sent it off. The first 50 pre-orders of either a paperback or a hardcover are going to be autographed. I'm going to autograph them for you automatically, first 50 orders. And so watch for that to come out. If you're wanting to have that little special gift from me, make sure and watch for it. And I will definitely announce it. I will send out a newsletter. It will be posted as soon as it's ready. And it's all in play. Super excited about that. So I had a great email come in about 10 days ago. So we're finally addressing it as a question because I already had so many questions for last week's amazing discussion on the Dragon Egg Library and all that good stuff. So I'm going to share first what she wrote and then tackle the question. And there's 2 parts to this. A second gal emailed me about cord cutting and is that a good practice? Is it useful? All that. So we're going to address that today too. But I want to go into this one because it's fascinating. So this woman writes to me, the other experience that I had after I did a chakra meditation, when I came home and I sat down, I was completely taken over. And it was as if hit by lightning. I was totally electrified, and this was a highly sexual, creative energy. It was as if I had no body, and I burst out this energy. And while this was going on, I saw my shell of a body being like in a trance dance, as an indigenous woman dancing before the people of a tribe, even when the body was of no importance, only a fragmented shell. And the energy came from above and below. It went boom. It didn't last long, otherwise I would not have been able to hold it together, but I was very surprised. Have you got any idea what was going on? I'd love to hear someone's opinion or take on this. So my opinion or take on this, if you've had similar experiences, one, this incredible amount of electrical energy coming in, when you do, so that was right after a chakra meditation. And there's Kundalini awakenings, there's Kundalini risings, there's dragon energy rising. But this electrical spark aspect of it is what triggers me into the fact that it's a soul level connection. So one of the things I talk about in the new book is how as we come into Ascension, which is the merge with our higher self, our full solar body, when we have that, that's like this point way out here, merging with this point way here, and it comes full circle and it merges from this circle, the aurora borealis, comes and creates a sphere. It pops into that fifth dimensional that has external and internal expansion. So in that sphere, all of a sudden, every incarnational aspect that you have out between this point and this point are now being interconnected. You're having that, it's like if you imagine like a tree line or a vine between the two, and there's all these little leaves off, and those are all your other incarnations. You've finally connected the spark. And so coming right off of chakra meditation, all of that being aligned for that flow, to have that flow coming in and hit you square in the face. And she said it would have taken me out. It was such a huge energy. Part of the massive amount of energy flowing there was that in connecting to this shaman aspect, that shaman aspect is incredibly powerfully connected, already deeply spiritual, already deeply connected, much like any of you that have, maybe you don't have a shaman past life, but maybe you, or a current ongoing, what would I call it, concurrent life going on. You might be a monk somewhere going through an enlightenment process, or a rainbow body ascension process. You might be a nun or a monk somewhere in another kind of order that is getting really, really close to God and spending a lot of time in prayer and meditation, so that your body's very, very clear and you have that high level of divine energy flow coming in. So in connecting to that, that's going to send a big wave of energy, not only with the electrical spark. Well, there, I like that a lot better than the rain. That electrical spark, it's flowing in, because as you merge with self, your electromagnetic field getting higher and higher and higher to match and meet all of that is going to have to get the capacity, get used to, accustomed to taking in that much energy. And so here was a blip, here was a woo, I feel it, I see it, I connect to it, and then it's gone. And that's because that's what we can take. You are writing the script, you are the one in control, and you shut it down. You were like, this will blow me up. This will blow my circuits. I need to stop this. You have guides and guardians around that are definitely going to stop the process if it's going to hurt your physical vessel. The physical vessel going with us this time. We don't want to hurt it, but we do want to electrify it. We want to keep that energy going, getting more and more electrical magnetic field flow, because that's going to be what kicks your carbon to silica shift. So getting all that going, super exciting that she's got these other aspects of self integrating in. I know I've shared this story before, but I'll bring it in again. 2 years ago on the part of the John Muir Trail in Yosemite National Park, walking along a ridge, and literally all you can see for miles in either direction from where I was wilderness. And I had a full-blown connection in that moment of pure knowing. There were 5 other aspects of myself, at least 5. I could feel 5. Looking out at a similar vista of wilderness, that vast expanse of no civilization, no populace, nothing else out there but the wild. The scenes looked different. They were on different planetary bodies. They were in different systems. But I could feel that connection where we're all looking out at a vista at the same point, and what that was bringing up emotionally and energetically in my body and in my other bodies as well. So this is that ongoing process of connect, and we start connecting the dots. We don't have to know the whole story, the whole history. She doesn't need to go back in and get all of the details of that shaman's life. The important piece is that it's reconnected now. When and if we need that information, we can call for it. We can bring it in. That shaman has a lot of gifts. That shaman has a lot of knowledge about connecting to the tree spirits, the animal spirits, working with them in their medicine. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you. That knowledge about not only just connecting, but working with the plant medicines, having them show her what works for different things to open different parts of the body or move energy through in order to heal the body. That means you have that knowledge. That means it's accessible. You might find that you have had a natural interest in plant medicine or herbiculture or naturopathy already in this lifetime, but you haven't studied it. You don't know. Hey, it's your natural bent. It's your natural go-to. That explains why you were sort of drawn to it, possibly. And wow, you can go back and call that information forward so that you master it and remember it very, very quickly. It's a natural gift flowing within you. Do you have to do a lot of training? You might want to take a course just to start refreshing on names or species or different lineages of plants. But in that flow, like, you've got to tap in. Every incarnational aspect that you have out there has gifts, has skills, has wisdom and awareness of different things. You have access to that. If there's things going on for you here that are challenging you, you don't know how to deal with it, you don't know how to move past it, tap in as you start connecting into those parts of yourself and call forward that knowledge. So what's very interesting is that's a tap in. And the other question we have is a tapping out. So the tapping in is you're connecting into your vital knowledge, your vital energy, all other aspects of self that's happening as part of this ascension process. Now, Tracy wrote in and she said, what about a cutting cord practice? Is that a useful practice to be doing continually? Is it a good practice? Is it something you do? Because as you know, I've talked about grounding practices are not the same anymore. We're now moving into stabilizing and shifting what that looks like. So we have to sort of look at all of our standard practices. What do we do as habit? What do we do as rote routine that may be tethering us in 3D, may be holding us back here when there's a new aspect or a new take on that practice or a whole new practice that will continue moving us forward in a way that is useful. So with cord cutting, I talked about the soul binding contracts recently. That was, I think, 2 weeks ago, if you want to go back and look at that. That's like a cord cutting, but at a much higher level. So cord cutting, absolutely. Should it be a continuous practice? Only as you continue to discover cords. And if you discover cords reconnecting. So in a sense, yes, it's a good continual check-in of not just like, are these people cording into me? If they are, you're allowing it on some level. It's not about them. I did need others to relinquish contracts with me on that soul binding contract. I had to say, hey, would you let this go, please? I need you to give permission for it to be gone. That was a contract. I'm talking about cords coming into me energetically. Cords are literal energetic cords that can be sucking our vibration out, sucking our energy out. Some of them are cords to our family members, particularly our parents. Particularly with the maternal parent, we almost always have a silver cord of connection that goes way beyond the expiration date of when that needs to be released. It's kept in place. Most of us aren't aware of it. Some are like, yeah, I love my mom, I want to keep that cord. But when we're going through a 0-point gateway into ascension, into a higher dimensional platform, zero baggage means we can't take any cords with us. We can't go through and have someone that's corded in the other dimensional plane be tethered to us. They can't come forward. So cutting those cords is really important. Not so much in getting frustrated of why something keeps coming in on the other person's end, but recognizing if I cut a cord with someone and it keeps coming back, there's a reason I'm allowing it. And I need to get more direct, more powerful within it of claiming that space and saying no. If it does keep going and you feel like a conversation needs to happen with who that being keeps coming in, that may help. And I'm saying if it's like consistent, like it's happening 8, 10, 12 times. Typically, once you cut a cord, it's done. I do use Archangel Michael, Black Dragon, and that beautiful, powerful sword for my cord cutting that I've done in the past. I haven't had to do it in a long time. And paying attention to, all right, I'm allowing this in. On some subconscious, higher level, soul level self, I'm allowing this in. What is it teaching me? What is it showing me? Maybe it's about me stepping into a greater level of power, commitment, and clarity on my inner connections, on being able to cut those cords and stand on my own. It might be just that I start feeling weak, and so I allow cords to come in because I feel more stabilized or more less alone. If I have cords connected into me energetically, I might feel needed. That might be something within me that needs addressing. I might feel like I'm in service or I'm giving something to them by letting my energy flow out. Be really, really clear and figure out what that cord is, why you're cutting it, going forth with cutting it, and watching if it comes back in, what it's truly about. So, Tracy, it was a great question because I think that's a practice that some people are continually doing and they're maybe not paying attention to all the facets of it, and others that aren't even aware they have cords. So how would you be aware you have cords? In meditation, go in and ask. And let me just ask which dragon. I'm going to ask the deck, actually. This is a great question for the deck, particularly for the group who are going to catch this on the replay. Anybody that's going to see this video. Show us, let's have a dragon reveal of the ideal dragon that wants to work with. And I'm going to say, so it's funny because I pulled the garland. You guys have seen all my videos recently. I've had my Christmas garland with the white lights, and I keep it on because in winter I keep the white lights in the house. It keeps the house bright and happy until spring equinox. And I felt really drawn to pull it today so that I could have dragons in the field again. And these were the two wanting to come forth. So in this question, because I don't normally ask, I usually just pull a card. I don't usually have this direct kind of question that we've been talking about associated with the pull. And I am feeling that the peridot dragon in particular, who's about transparency, particularly with self, that reflective mirror of being really transparent with self to see the truth, that would be a great ally. Emerald dragon, personal truth, pulling that in. Why is the amethyst dragon there? Soothing, calming, rejuvenation. When you are done cutting the cords, pull the amethyst dragon in. That's like the one that likes a spa day. Of help me replenish, help me get my own energy back. It's all been sucked out. Maybe I'm drained. Cut those out, pull her in. But there's a specific dragon I feel is going to reveal from the deck that is going to be ideal for this. It's so interesting because I almost put the vermilion dragon, which is the sun chakra, or higher solar plexus from the Pleiades, sitting right up here. Moved her up. I'm feeling her because she's that sun chakra. She's the right between the heart center and the solar plexus, between our heart and our will, really stepping into that power. I feel like she's a good ally as well. So the vermilion dragon from the Pleiades. And let me see. Just shuffled. I'm going to feel where the energy is that wants to cut. Ha-ha! Silver dragon. Now that's very funny because I also rehung the silver dragon just above peridot. So you guys can't see this, but she's right there. So I think that's very funny because these are the four that I've touched today. Silver dragon. That's your heart line. That is you, your heart, fully centered within itself. Her keywords are softness, embrace, and surrender. So pulling that silver dragon in from Orion, Rihanna Umnae is the track on the CD that comes with the dragon within, allowing her to step forward and really pull you in. So I think that's interesting. She's fifth dimensional Orion dragon, definitely about full heart lineage, heart center, and pull you into surrender and softness. Why would you need to be in surrender and softness, or working with her for that surrender and softness as you're cutting cords? That's like, I want to be in my power. We've got sun chakra here. We've got transparency, emerald dragon, the wisdom, peridot's wisdom, moving into that. And amethyst is also heartline. So we've got all these aspects, but the softness is about you coming in to be able to be soft enough to see with clarity what's in the heart space. She cracks open the heart to a new level, and that's where the cording is really coming in. You're allowing those cords into the heart. So Tracy, thank you for that question. My other gal, I'm not going to reveal her name because I read such a long story about her, but I want to thank for the question, and I'll make sure and send her an email that this is up. Hopefully that gives you some insights to work with, some new tools, or maybe some old tools revisited. Send me your questions. Every week we have these great discussions because I've got all of my dragon family who are in their process and they're realizing, like, you know, I'd love someone else's take on this. Bring it to the dragons and we will bring it forward on a live. So wishing you a beautiful weekend wherever you are. I feel like I got some rain put on the screen at the beginning. Maybe there's rain and snow and yuck. Maybe wind going on further east of where I am, but the storm has passed us and we're into a little sunshine until tomorrow, and then we'll get some rain. But wishing you guys a beautiful weekend. I hope you enjoyed and are still in that energy. You know, we're 24 hours before and after minimum, usually 72 before and after these powerful alignments. That energy is still around us. Feel it. Feel the alignment. Allow yourself to see, like, wow, what did I consciously was aware that is really aligned in my life? And what little niggles came up? I had a weird niggle come up in the mail last night. Like, that is really interesting because they have it straight and they've misinterpreted a document. Where is that sitting in my field? Like, what did I do to create that? And where is that in these planets that are aligned? Where is that pulling out? I feel like the 7 planets are associated with our 7 chakras, and being able to associate, like, what thread was that I need a little work on? All right. Great to see everybody. Have a beautiful week, guys. I'll see you sometime next week. Bye for now.